Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Lady Pelvic, bringing you a review on a game that's popularity is spreading like wildfire due to her release in Super Smash Bros. That's right, Bayonetta. The first one. Originally released in 2010 for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Now, I'm amongst those people who have never heard of Bayonetta until Bayonetta 2 was announced. Naturally, I gained interest because a sexy, badass witch? What's not to love? I am happy to say I finally got to Bayonetta and overall enjoyed it. It's a hard game though. The learning curve, for me anyways, was pretty damn real. FYI, I have never played a Devil May Cry game, so this game was super fresh to me. The closest game I've ever played to something like this is probably God of War, and despite its difficulty, it was a pretty interesting ride. Bayonetta opens up with a super cryptic scene. Something about a child having to be put away, Bayonetta being stabbed by a mysterious lady, a scuba diver, and the ending voice saying,
"Rise, my child. Rise to realize your true potential. Unleash your power and awaken the eyes of the world."
Right away, you have absolutely no idea what the hell's going on. As if things weren't interesting enough, you're fighting alongside with another gal on a fallen clock tower against angels? While this is all happening, you hear a little bit about the history of the Lumen Sages and Umbran Witches, who maintain the balance of light and dark. However, the balance was broken and the Lumen Sages began witch hunts. Seemingly, only one Umbran witch remained, Bayonetta, a witch who has no recollection of who she is or where she came from, on a mission to uncover her past and learn about the eyes of the world. Along the way, you only meet a few characters. Rodine, who's pretty much the devil who owns a demonic shop which you can purchase items and weapons from. Enzo, who's only really in the beginning and has leads for Bayonetta regarding what she's looking for. An informant, if you will. Cereza, a little girl, which a mysterious voice insists that she's the key. Luca, who is honestly like this annoying fly, but has some sort of vendetta against Bayonetta for reasons.
Which doesn't quite equate to you, now does it? Bayonetta. Shit!
And most importantly, Jean. Jean, just like Bayonetta, is this boss-ass bitch who loves to toy with Bayonetta. In case anyone's wondering, Jean over Bayonetta, any day. Yeah, I said it. Overall, the story was pretty good, but really confusing. I felt there was a lot of things you had to speculate and kind of be like, yeah, this makes sense, I think, sure, why not? Because the game doesn't outright tell you. After digging into the story a little more, then you get a lot of ooh and ah moments. The gameplay in Bayonetta is so incredibly ridiculous, like in a good way, but holy shit. Bayonetta is a third-person action game. You go through trippy levels while fighting angels, servants of the Lumen Sages. The key to battle is perfect dodging, which activates Witch Time. Witch Time is your best friend in this game. By learning the enemy's movements and sounds, you can easily dodge. I say easily, but I struggled with Witch Time events as tougher angels appeared. After doing X amount of damage to enemies, your magic gauge will fill, allowing you to do a torture attack, which is a stupid amount of damage to enemies. Note, if you're taking damage, your magic will deplete. In this game, you're expected not to get hit because these angels, when they hit, it hurts. Even if you don't perfect dodge, but you still dodge, that's better than taking damage. A cool thing that this game did is when you're first introduced to the angel, they perform some sort of attack during their intro cutscene. That attack isn't just for show. You actually have to react to that attack. It actually makes for an easy witch time. Or a cheap shot on the enemy's part. When fighting bosses, whether they be mini-bosses or cardinal virtues, Bayonetta summons one of her contracted demons with her hair. Her hair! That is freaking awesome! And then you get a button mash that scores some serious halos, aka bonus money! After a level, you're scored based on your performance. Frankly, you have infinite retries, thank God, because Lord knows I needed them. But know that you will get the shittiest score, a stone award, which is what I got on nearly all the levels. Guys, I'm not kidding when I said this game kicked my ass. Good luck not screaming every time Grace and Glory show up. Then there's Gracious and Glorious, who you can't use Witch Time on. Fuck those guys. I swear to God. Those and the arcs are the absolute worst. Even if you don't die and you use items that you buy or craft, it will affect your score. After a level, there's a mini game where you shoot angels and you can use your points to buy items to use on the next level. Take this seriously. If you're like me, you'll need all the items you can get. The graphics, in terms of the Wii U version, I thought were fine. Not mind-blowing, but still good looking. What I really want to talk about is the character and the angel designs. I absolutely dig Bayonetta's design. It's sexy and classy. I mean, do she got the booty? She do! Do she got the ratatatatas? She do! But her sexiness is so subtle. It's in her voice, the way she casually shoots a gun as if she's walking on a damn catwalk, and how she gains her strength from sucking on lollipops. And her legs. This woman is seriously all leg, baby. I wish they gave Kirby this design instead of the mole and the hair and the glasses. Even Jeanne, I love her makeup, skin-tight suit, her voice. It all has a subtle sexiness to it. I'm really feeling it. The angel designs were awesome. I love how they were introduced, and the cardinal virtues designs were so creative. More so kinda creepy. And the levels in this game are pretty damn wild. It has a good mix-up of like tame and holy crap, this is kinda crazy. Honestly, everything about this game is pretty damn crazy. The thing I like with these levels is you think you're just gonna waltz through, fight enemies, waltz through, fight more enemies. No. The enemies pop out of nowhere and your surroundings collapse, and there are statues of enemies that you don't know if they're gonna pop out or just be a statue. You're on your toes the entire time. There's never a dull moment. Oh, and beware the quick time events. Instant death is a thing in this game. And because this game is so action-packed, some of the cutscenes felt slightly off. Usually the cutscenes are bordered with film and you can hear the characters talking, but the characters themselves are frozen. It's kind of comic booky, if that makes sense. It just didn't fit the vivacious game that is Bayonetta.
Things, and you want an intelligence briefing? It never stops with you!
You keep bellyaching like that, and you're liable to wake Eggman from the dead.
The cutscenes that had actual movement, however, were just fine. And finally, the music in this game. I like it. I'm particularly fond of the upbeat and jazzy tracks. I'd even say some of the classic sounding stuff was mixed in well. Of course, there was chanting music which fit the coming of the angels. Because it was so hard to just pick one song I liked in this game, I had my favorites playing throughout this review. But I think I'd have to give it to Fly Me to the Moon, Climax version. Every time that song came on, Bayonetta just poses sexy and summons a demon, just spanks the living hell out of the boss, which was just beautiful. Kind of comical, but it added even more flashiness to the boss's death. Like the enemy is getting mauled to death and you just hear this upbeat tune playing, and I mean, it's fucking great. Bayonetta, folks. I think this game deserves an 8.5 out of 10. I feel like that's fair. If you like difficult action-adventure games, boom, Bayonetta. It was like God of War on crack. The reason I didn't give this game a higher score is because of the speculation of story. I felt like I kind of had to assume things in order for things to make sense in my head. What's funny though is when I watched Bayonetta, the animated film, the things that the video game didn't explain so well, I felt like the film kind of filled in some of it, like made my assumptions a little bit more solidified. But don't get me wrong, the animated film totally left out a lot. Play the game. You know, I had to ask some of my friends, like, wait a minute, did this happen? Oh, okay, I wasn't sure because, nah. And then there's Jeanne. Jeanne was such a waste of potential, man. She was a really cool character, but I felt like her story, what happened to her was very like, they just could have done so much with Jeanne, I think, you know, other than blank happened to her. Spoiler, can't say it, sorry. Other than that, great gameplay, fuck grace and glory, and I'm really digging the jazzy soundtrack. Now on to Bayonetta 2. Thank you so much for watching, and well, you know the drill. The first box will guide you to all of my review videos, and the bottom box is my Let's Play channel. Watch me kill everything in Undertale. Just kidding, I really love Papyrus, I'm not killing anyone. Yet. Seriously though, fuck grace and glory.